Yes, I would tell it to you. As I'm saying, as I'm saying. As I'm saying. How are you? All right.
I'm doing good.
Okay, can I interview you?
You can interview
Okay.
me.
Okay. All right. How many years you been doing this?
Well, I've been doing, like, I have a website. I started in 2008, but then I really started doing interviews, like, since 2018.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it's good to know that. Yeah. Good to know you.
Okay.
All right. So it's your interview.
All right. Okay, cool. You have been playing with the Skatalites more recently. How did they approach you?
Wow.
Well, you knew them from before.
Yeah, because whatever reputation I have, I had it from them times, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they approached me when they needed a bass player. In any case, I had like like 12 years before they approached me. They had approached me to fix an album that they were working on. So I'd already worked on an album from the High Bop Ska album, the one that got nominated for Grammy. Yeah, I already worked on that one from 1994. Yeah. So I'd already had that experience. Y'all knew me from my other stuff.
Recently, Max Romeo was doing his ultimate tour because he planned to retire from touring. So, have you ever considered retiring from music?
Yeah, but not lately. You consider retiring from years back, you're like, not going too good, and then it always picks up. Anytime I ever think about, like I remember one time going, years back, I went to computer school, got my not my degree, not really a degree, but my diploma and stuff. And just when I was supposed to be like looking for jobs computer-wise, the music just picked up. So I've considered, but now I don't consider it because really, I won't say I get tired, but I get so used to people saying every day, boy, you lucky, eh? You're doing what you want to do and you're getting paid too. Yeah. So I get that argument all the time, and so I'm all right with it.
Okay.
I will retire when it makes me retire. Because technically, music kind of, I didn't work music or whatever. Music kind of, I didn't really choose music as such. Always the music really chose me, like that. So whenever it stops choosing me or it chooses to ignore me, well then, yeah, that's the time. But till then, I'm all right. I still love what I do.
Okay.
Very much, yeah.
Well, that's the most important, love to what you're doing. When you started making music, it was like way back then when there were analog studios, and now everything is like computerized. So how did it affect your style, your music, your work, or anything?
Well, God is good, you understand? Sorry. And sometimes God moves you, or God moves me in a direction, and then I recognize the direction I've been moved into, and I don't just choose and say, let me go in that direction. Usually I'm going in that direction and I realize, that's what I need to do? Okay, fine. Like I say, sometimes I'm just steered in the right direction without saying, okay, I need to do this. I just end up doing it and realizing that, that's what I'm supposed to do. And that was the case with the computer, because I did this computer course and I said, let me settle down a little bit. And I did really good on the course. So much so, Like last month or two, I was like teaching the rest of the class. Really good. I really was. I mean, I'm boasting, but you know, I was really onto it. And then, you know, it's like at the end of the course, I said, I'm sure I'm gonna get into this thing and music, and it's gonna take up my time. So I even went back to Jamaica right then and said, let me visit around and then come back and look at jobs, you know. Came back to look at the job and the music just went up and up and like wow. You know, I couldn't refuse it, you know, so that's how it was, you know. So yeah, but so even as it is presently right now, I always travel with my computer. So sometimes I'm able to like do a bass line. Even when I'm on the road somewhere, I can plug in my AD converter and stuff like that. And do the bass line and send it to whoever it is, you know. Could be some producer, you know, like my friends, whatever, Willie Lindo and them guys, you know, who's a name I love to call because he's like one of the best producers I've ever worked with, you know, and he still checks in with me to do some stuff sometimes, you know, on the road. Yeah, so I have my computer ready and stuff like that. So it has not left me, you know. And, you know, the other thing is the attitude. Attitude is like everything, you know. And if you find, most musicians you find who have been at some point like leading something, leading in like in creating music, creativity is part of your attitude, and that apparently never dies. You know, you're that type of person who willing to like go for extra and get extra. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I don't boast, but I have worked on a lot of things, and you know. And I still work on stuff like that because I have the attitude which makes you create, you know. You don't just sit back and reproduce what somebody else does. You know, first of all, you have to be able to reproduce that, yes. But then if you get right to that level, then the next thing for you to do is create. You know, so that's, yeah, so computer thing has never left me now. And it can be very interesting too, you know. Yeah. I remember first time I got my MPC, which is the famous MPC, yeah. I mean, I ended up having an ankle problem. I was standing up for like 16, 17 hours just doing it, you know, just creating stuff and jump patterns and stuff like that. Yeah. So, you know, that's how it is. That creativity is part of an attitude that doesn't die like that, you know? Yeah.
So you talk about MPC, you have been doing some sampling.
Yeah, I've been doing that from a long time, from it because it became popular, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like I say, creativity, I realized creativity, I used to worry about it and say, I used to think about it, not worry. I used to like expect at some point not to be able to like find interesting bass lines. Because bass line is not just a line, it's a counter melody and it straightens up certain things and it builds up pressure for something else to release in the song. It's all of that, you know. So I used to wonder whether I'm not gonna find these bass lines or they're not gonna come to me. But after a while I realized, no, I don't even need to worry about it. You know, because it comes through, for me personally, it comes through the source. You know, it comes through the almighty source personally. you know. So, and I used to tell people, sometimes people would tell me, oh, you don't remember that bass line for that song? You play it, you know, it's you play. I'm like, oh, really? Let me hear it good. And then I usually hear some little thing in it that I know is B, you know. And then I let them know that if you're a recording musician, a creating musician, you have to be able to forget. Like, especially like back in them days when I used to be doing like three different studios in a day. You have to be, you can't be carrying that new stuff with you to the next studio. You have to be able to like forget a lot of that so that you can create other new stuff. Otherwise everything must be sounding like the same thing. You know, it's something to think about.
Do you still do a lot of studio work?
No, not as much as I used to. You know, but sometimes it might be a lot in a short period of time, and then I might have breaks. And that's the funny thing with music too. If someone knows you're busy doing something, sometimes they won't call you, or they'll be like, "Nah, man, Dougie too busy for that." You know, I only have one song for him to do now. Let me wait till I have 10. You know, so it varies, it fluctuates. You know what I'm saying? But the attitude is still there. You know, so the attitude finds release. You know, so.
I think I've heard recently Steelie and Clevie that were suing some producers. Have you heard about that, and what are your thoughts about this?
Well, I don't have the details. I've read about it like in like 2 different articles, and I was like, oh really? Oh, that's interesting. I think the second article I read really opened my eyes. I was like, what? Because suddenly I was realizing, oh yeah, Dem Bow really is the basis of what you call it, reggaeton, really, you know, it's true. And I know them guys really, we're not a set of musicians who are really sharkish. But, you know, I always look at it and say, if something is producing money, I have something to do with it, well, let me get paid too. I can find things to do with it like other people who are finding things to do with whatever money I'm not getting. So let me get some too, you know, and try to work out some kind of thing as to how much I get, and you know. So I haven't heard anything much lately, but I look forward to hearing good things. Because them guys, Steelie and Clevie were, you know, especially both of them, yeah, well, you know, Steelie is not with us anymore, but Clevie is here. Clevie from the Brownie musical family. Much respect, total respect. Whatever comes out of that, I'm pretty sure it will be good. And good for the music too, you know? To know that if you really come with something really original and you work at it, you will get your just rewards, as they call it, as they say. You know, so I'm looking forward to hear how that works out.
You were saying it's good to create new stuff, but in Jamaican music, like Jamaicans love to recycle old rhythms, like we're still hearing real rock rhythm in 2023. What are your thoughts about the new music from Jamaica?
Well, oh man, you got me thinking now. The thing is, the music comes from within. You know, so a lot of times you hear the music and it's sounding like it's losing its power or its genuineness. It kind of reflects, it might be reflecting on something in the society, you know. So that's why it's not cut and dry. You can say it's this or that. It has to do with what's going on in society. Jamaica's going through things. Really don't want to get involved with the politics. I don't need to, you know. You understand? Yeah, like I say, I don't really need to get involved with the politics. Back in the day when I was young, I had my Lotus Cartina, and I was driving behind one of them member of parliament on election day. That guy took his gun outside and pushes a gun out the window and say, hey, I want to warn the guy whoever is driving behind me. Okay, I want to warn you, and he put his gun out and pop one shot off. I was like, really? And I turned back because I wasn't packing no gun and stuff like that. So I don't really want to get involved with them things, And that was just an exercise that on election day, there were some politicians who would drive around and throw out money through the window. And I'd heard that this particular politician was driving around in my constituency down in the country, down the country parts in Clarendon. And a friend of mine said, come, Val, come good. If you go behind him, you won't throw out the money, So that's how we did. And the man waited till he got to a certain part of the road that was small and pushed his gun outside and said, I want to warn. Yeah. So I don't want to get involved with the politics thing and say why. But the truth is that the music reflects things happening in society. A lot of times, sometimes hard to see, sometimes hard to differentiate exactly what caused the music to get, even the lyrics to get watered down, and get going into slack lyrics and, instead of the real article things that, the real social commentary that we used to. Sometimes you wonder why, but if you really check good, so it might not be a direct reflection, but you know how light goes. Light reflects all over the place. It's a reflection of what is happening society-wise. And sometimes not even society, Jamaican society itself, but just the world society really, You understand? So I would like them to get more world conscious and stuff, and get it back into the music like it used to be. It's tunes like Africa Unite and tunes like that. I used to love them tunes, I love that to come back in. But I don't want to make no big commentary and say, which party or which side is it. No. The people can see for themselves and adjust. Sometimes you don't need to have a total revolution. You can have a revolution in thought can make you change little things along the way instead of, you don't necessarily have to have a total upheaval, but I don't want to get too political. I'm sorry.
Are you working on any musical project like for the studio right now, or you're only focused on touring?
I'm focused on touring right now. I have stuff to go back and start to work on again. To continue working on, yes. But right now, focus on touring, Yeah.
Where is Doreen Schaeffer?
She was on the phone with me yesterday. She's in, right now she's in Florida. Yeah. And she was having a problem with her knee right before the pandemic started. And she was supposed to do some stuff on that knee. Pandemic came in, and then yeah, everything got pushed back because they say they're only gonna do whatever the surgeries are like really, important and really pressing, So for all of that thing, she couldn't do nothing. But now I think she's about to do it now, though. Yeah. Because, like she's been doing like therapy and stuff. And it sounds like she might not even, maybe she don't have to do the surgery itself now that they're trying to do some surgery. Some therapy instead, yeah. But she alright though. She called me and was out of the blue sky and we was chatting there and she alright. So I even said to her, oh, your voice sounding as strong as ever. She said, yeah man, yeah. She said, so I told her we need to do an album for next year's 60th anniversary, And I said, you ready? And she said, of course. So I said, okay, all right, you hear from us soon and we try to get everything, the logistics together, kind of thing, So she's all right. Yeah, I know she have a lot of fans all over the place, including you, I'm sure. Yes, why you ask? That's why you ask. Yeah, so she's she'll be all right.
Yeah, well, it's the third time I see you guys perform, and this time she was not there, so I was like, oh, there's not going to be any My Boy Lollipop or anything tonight. Well, but she's one of the original founding members of the Skatalites, so...
But the whole macho thing meant that because she didn't really play an instrument, her voice wasn't given the full respect then that nowadays we do this. But back then a voice wasn't looked upon as an instrument, so sometimes people talking about original Skatalites, they tend to want to ignore her, So there are times you might hear someone saying, oh, it was they talk about the original members and don't mention her, which is really a joke. You understand? So yes, she was one of the founding members, She might not play a solo on a saxophone or whatever like Tommy or Roland, but she did solos with her voice, you know what I'm saying? Because technically a voice is such an instrument that really every time that you open your mouth, it's a solo coming out, really. Because it has everything to do with your tonality and all that kind of stuff, and your attitude. The good old attitude, my word, Here comes attitude again, yeah. So, yes. Sometimes, as a founding member, sometimes it sounds, like they don't show the full respect, But they respect her voice, though, even though they might sound like they don't do it. But that's coming from the old time thing where people never used to really look at vocals, your vocal as an instrument, But she been there from the start, and she influenced a lot of stuff to influence a lot of the instrumentalists too, Yeah.
Today, are there still a lot of musicians that are in Jamaica? Because we see more and more groups performing with synthesizers instead of trombone, saxophone, the brass section. And so we wonder, where are the musicians?
They're working on. They're coming back. They're coming back. Like the School of Music is bigger now than it was back in the day. Yeah, they're working on it. And yes, and they have a good set of new musicians, bass players, and good guitarists, and good horn players too, including O'Keel here, who's playing trumpet with us right now. He's very, very good, man. From that new crop. Yes. And they have good attitudes. Back in the days, we used to look at certain horn players, right? And they used to have like a different attitude. And then someone would pop up like a Dean Fraser. Yeah, and we would say between us, rhythm section people, we used to say, boy, Dean is like a rhythm man, the way he deals with the music and stuff, he knows all the cards, what's going on. I used to respect that. Well, now we're seeing more of that happening, whereby the instrumentalists don't just look at the music and play their part and keep going. No, they actually play their part and know all the other people. So one of the new crop. Very, very proud of them guys, very proud of him. That's O'Keel. And you'll be hearing a lot more about him, clearly. Yeah.
And how do you pick the new musicians?
No, I don't get another picking thing, but if somebody ain't playing right, I will say no. But I try not to get into the picking of the other stuff. Because sometimes you pick somebody and then they let you down. And then you feel almost like you're responsible for that too, So, yeah, but he got picked different process. And I'm very pleased with what I see and what I heard, Yeah.
When you're touring, what do you prefer? Is it the fact that you travel and you see new places, or meeting new people, or just,
It's more the people, Because the place, the geography is not. I mean, I've been there. I've seen a lot of places. I haven't been to Vietnam yet. I've been to Hong Kong several times. So that is China. But, so there are certain places I haven't been to, especially like the Soviet satellites, those countries. But I've been to Russia. I've been all over the place. So the geography is not what's going to get my interest all that much, You understand? But it's the people and how they react to it. We still end up going in places where people come after you finish playing and tell you, oh man, I was in a big accident and I was in the hospital laid up for how many months, and I didn't start to recover until I started listening to some reggae music, actually some ska music, So that still is very important to me. Not the geography. And when I just started touring, it was different. Like the first time I went to Australia, I walked up and down for about 8 miles a day and then came back just in time to change and go do the gig. Because the land down and I've never been there before. The geography was interesting then. But now it's the people, trust me, the people and the stories that they come with. The stories that they come with really do a lot for me. Definitely. That's what does it for me.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure, yeah? It's my pleasure. Yeah, whatever other thing you want to know and I can tell you, I'm an open book.
Okay, no problem. Well, maybe at some other festivals or I don't know. Or maybe one day I come to Jamaica and find you in studio.
Well, you never know. You might find not in Jamaica, but, but the world is, the world is ours. Really, you know.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
It's my pleasure.